everyone, it's Miss Champagne. Okay guys, this is video number 5. Okay, so I want to talk about the coronavirus in Japan and how that affects business teaching versus private English teaching. Okay, so like I said in the first video, I was talking on the phone to my friend last night and he was telling me that, oh my God, people are getting canceled, gigs, da, da, da. And I was just thinking I was like, what are you talking about? Like, none of my gigs have gotten canceled. He was like, I know your gigs haven't gotten canceled. He said, I'm talking about like people working at companies, like if they go in to train and stuff. And I was like, oh, okay. Because normally I just work by myself. My students are one-on-one. I either meet them at their house, at a cafe, or online. But he was referring to what I like to call business teaching. So business, and I also do that as well, but it's like in a one-on-one session. Anyways, so business teaching for me in Japan means like you go to a company and you teach business skills, it could be culture skills, whatever. You're going either by yourself or with a group of other teachers and you're going to teach students in bulk, right? I love those. I don't do those too often because, like I said, I don't like working for other companies. I just, I'm kind of mouthy and I just don't have time for nonsense. That's just my platform, no nonsense. So I work by myself and I have my own clientele. I teach one-on-one. However, when you're a business teacher, that means you have to go on site to teach the students. The problem is now because a lot of companies are shutting down, self-quarantining themselves. That means their employees are working off-site, which means they're working remotely, which means that as a business teacher, you cannot go to work because the job is closed. Now, business teaching in Japan, there's a few ways you could do it. Like I'm also a business teacher as well, but I do it as a private English teacher, which means I own that student. I either go to their house or teach them online or teach them at a cafe. But a lot of other teachers are employed full-time as business teachers, which means that either they work for a cram school where they can send teachers out, or they work for like a juku. Juku is usually where students come to a certain school, like a certain building that acts as a school, and they're taught there. So if you're in that category where you're at a dispatch company or you're with a company that hires you full-time, but they can't send you there, I'm not exactly sure how that would work with your contract. Like I've had contracts with, AKOS as well, but it's never been full-time. It's always been part-time. So I'm assuming that if they lay you off, I don't know if you get paid holiday. I don't know if you just don't get paid. I don't know. But my point is that I've never wanted to depend on a company to ensure that I get work, which is why I do the private English teaching. So for those of you who are business teachers in Japan, like of course I encourage you to do that, but just have a backup plan. I feel like just a lot of my coworkers, not coworkers, my colleagues, because I barely even work with anybody. A lot of my colleagues, they solely rely on companies, and then when they find out that I'm a private English teacher and I own my own schedule, they're like, wow, how do you do that? I'm like, I've written books and I have online courses about how to do it. It's very simple, but you can't rely on other people. That's number one. But anyways, my point, if you're a business English teacher, if you're full-time, you might want to consider a B plan, because you don't know when something like this is going to strike. And this is my thing. I'm very paranoid. I like to be ready. That's just and I'm paranoid, and I have OCD, so I'm obsessive, and I just can't help myself. I always like being prepared. So I just feel like people in Japan, in general, Japan is like a boat, and you kind of you get comfortable, and and you don't really plan like you should. And I feel that that happens a lot in this country, but even more so with foreigners, especially the teachers, because we're just comfortable and we're happy. But you have to realize that recessions come, money comes, money goes, money comes, money goes. I understand that. This is why I work constantly, because I know it's a coming. It always does. And the best thing you can do is be prepared. Okay? Now, being a private English teacher, as I am, I feel like for me, I've gotten more business, in the last 3 to 4 months, and it hasn't even slowed down at all. And I feel like because I'm a babysitter as well, that I'm going to get even more clients. I just landed a new client. She'll be paying me $500 a month, and that's just like for a couple hours a week, which is great money. and it's fun, it's babysitting, and she actually needs me. So I just want to encourage people to always just think ahead about what can happen if you can't work. I always just like to be ready. So anyways, guys, tell me what you think. What do you think about the coronavirus in Japan? Do you know anyone who has the virus? Do you want to be a teacher in Japan? Do you want to teach business? Do you want to be a babysitter? So let me know, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.